Welcome again to myfibromyalgiarelief.com. In this little brief video I want to talk again about that stress response, that fight or flight response, and what it means when it's stuck in the on position. So let's first start and say that it's not stuck. Let's say it just turns on for a little bit, like when you see the tiger in the forest, and that's the way that it was originally set up to function. When your flight or fight response turned on, your heart rate would go up. Actually, all the blood from your stomach, as much of it as possible, would go out into your limbs, so you were ready either to run away from that danger or to attack it. The focus in your eyes would actually change so that you could see more clearly what the danger might be out there. Your skin temperature would go up. All your muscles would tighten because they were ready to ward off that danger, either to fight it or to run away from it. Once a tiger leaves, either your lunch or you're fine, and you go back to relaxing. When you're in a relaxed mode, your cells are automatically experiencing the chemistry of the things that they need to restore. You know, they're taking in energy and they're giving out byproducts. Each cell, each of your 50 trillion cells is normally doing that. And normally your body is in a relaxed mode. Well, it turns out that if you've suffered a very strong trauma or stress, and a lot of people with fibromyalgia can say, oh yeah, that's happened to me early in my childhood. Very typical. Sometimes, in fact commonly, it's even a sexual abuse trauma. Not always, but that's, sadly, it's fairly prevalent. But anyway, some high trauma or a long-lasting trauma occurring in childhood can get that fight or flight mechanism stuck in the on position. Basically, I mean, it makes sense, right? You always end up on guard. Always a piece of you protecting yourself for what might be a reoccurrence, a danger that comes back, like when you were a kid. Then later on, so your body just deals with this. It's got this stress going on all the time. Functions. Sometime in midlife, there's been enough stress just accumulating in your body, and then some big event happens, car accident or relationship issue or some big triggering trauma. Person feels pain in their body somewhere and the pain never goes away. There's the beginning of fibromyalgia. When the fight or flight mechanism is stuck in the on position, people's sleep is poor. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're kind of constantly on guard against this danger. It turns out that you need to have good sleep in order to produce what's called a growth hormone. It's a hormone in your body that helps each cell to restore, helps your body to restore as it gets used. If you don't produce enough of this, your body wears down to the point where somewhere in your middle life you go through a big trauma, the body just doesn't have enough in it anymore, and ends up with these chronic symptoms that people with fibromyalgia experience. So that's sort of the process. And traditional medicine has said, well, that's kind of what happens, if they even have acknowledged for some doctors whether or not that's what happens. But then they go about treating the symptoms. What I want to suggest to you in my experience with clients is that if we can pay attention and observe the memories, the experiences, and the emotions of a person's life, well, as soon as you observe something rather than react to it, the chemistry changes. Different peptides are created. Your body's chemistry instantly changes. If we can patiently pay attention, patiently observe just whatever comes up until the stress in that memory goes down, and then whatever comes up, pay attention again, observe, we are changing our body's chemistry. And at some point, just by this simple process of paying attention and being aware of what comes up, then observing it and letting the intensity release from it, our fight or flight response will likely turn off. And when it does, or as it lessens intensity even, people typically experience a reduction in the amount of pain and often experience an entire elimination of their fibromyalgia symptoms. For me, this is the most exciting work to be doing. To know that there's a science behind it, a scientific process that we can address it, and to know that, gosh, just by observing, a really careful observing and paying attention, that actually changes the chemistry in my body, in anybody's body, and that fibromyalgia symptoms can be reduced or eliminated. That's hugely exciting for me, and every time I see it happen for somebody, I'm thrilled. So again, on this website you're going to find a lot more information about how this process works, how you can do it for yourself. You're also going to find contact information for me if you want to have me assist you in this process of observation with in mind the intention of reducing or eliminating your fibromyalgia pain. Thank you so much.